We love to tell ourselves we're doing great, and we love to hear other people tell us just how great we are doing. But have we ever stopped and asked ourselves, compared to who? Because something very meager and something which is really not worth celebrating will get celebrated when it's surrounded by something a little bit worse or by something completely not worth celebrating. Most people get stuck because they start comparing themselves against comfort, or they start comparing themselves against something incredibly mediocre instead of comparing themselves against something great which they actually want to be achieving. Because it's too easy to go out into the world and look at someone standing on a street corner and say, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a bit of a top guy myself, because at least I'm not standing on the street corner looking for my next fix. Maybe we just bought our first car. Maybe we moved into a new apartment, got a little bit of money. Maybe the girl we like walked past us and went, oh, what deodorant are you wearing today? That smells pretty good. And in that moment, we can drop our guard a bit. We can go, you know what? Maybe I am him. Maybe I'm that guy. Maybe I've made it. And suddenly we think, you know what? We're top shit. We're fantastic. Nothing else to worry about. But all that we've really done is slightly outgrow our old environment. That has got nothing to do with our potential or even where we actually want to be. We have to stop letting ourselves make the mistake of being above average and stamping something on there going, boom, you know what? That is exceptional. I am very happy with this. I no longer need to progress and go forth and continue suffering to achieve the things that I actually want. And especially as young men, we were not meant to start pacifying ourselves with a little bit of praise from anyone, especially from ourselves. It is far more dangerous when it comes from internal. And we can look back and we can say, I've come so far in the past 5 years, I'm proud of where I am. But again, we are comparing ourselves to where we used to be. We're comparing ourselves to that worst version. We're not looking forward and comparing ourselves to the person we must become. Because if we do that, and I know if I do that, still I get into stages where I think, you know what, maybe I'm not as cool as I thought I am. Maybe I can't have this ego that I want to have. Maybe I'm not quite yet that guy, and I've still got some more work to do. But that can be an uncomfortable thought to sit with and acknowledge. And so 9 times out of 10, that's why we take the easy route, and we instead choose to look back and say, hey, at least I'm not there anymore, or at least I'm not that guy who nobody likes and doesn't shower and plays Fortnite all day. And when we start thinking like that, something as simple as you're doing great, we take it as a badge and we say, you know what, I've earned this. I'm going to give myself permission now to slow down, to pump the brakes, enjoy the fruits of my very meager and kind of pitiful labor. And when you hear this sort of encouragement from other people, a lot of the times it's not really encouragement, it's not really trying to get you to grow, it's more of a containment situation, trying to put you in your box where you can go, I've been a good boy, I'm gonna have some head pats now, everyone likes me, this is good, this is a life that I always wanted to have. But the truth behind that is, when people lie to you in this manner, they're not lying to try and help you, they're lying to try and keep you comfortable. Because in any situation, if you're deciding you are going to be that guy that breaks out, that lives his life differently, that goes on to achieve the things that he knows his friends or even his family are not going to go forward and achieve, your growth will therefore expose the stagnation of those people who could help themselves, but for whatever reason and through absolute laziness, just refuse to. So when they're in that situation, they've either got to stop you or they've got to lift you up, boost you and say, you can do this, and through that acknowledge that they also could, they just do not want to. And so I want you to be very conscious of the limits that you accept in your life. Every time we turn to ourselves and say, we're doing well, we're building an imaginary ceiling above ourselves saying this is the goal. Like this is the pinnacle, we've hit something new and this is great for us. Be very, very aware of starting to optimize for validation from other people or from yourself instead of raw, ruthless progress. Any form of comfort that we try and strive for is just the enemy in our life dressed as peace. We can try and pacify ourselves with progress and say, Well, I did waste a few hours scrolling today, but I did make some progress. I ticked off a few tasks. Then if we step back and look at it, we're not realizing it's the progress of a motherfucking snail, brother. We might be moving, but we're going, and if we step back and think to ourselves, okay, the guy that I want to be next year, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, how would he look at this progress right now? Would he look at that and go, oh, that's pretty good? Or would he look at that and go, what the f are you even up to? What's up with that? That's not good enough. We have to fix that. Reality check. You are not in competition with your friends. You are not in competition with the people around you. You are not in competition with the bum standing on the street corner. You are in competition with your potential. And that's what we must judge ourselves off. So whenever you go forward and you want to compare yourself to the man you could become if you stop making these silly excuses for yourself. That comparison can oftentimes hurt, but it is the only honest comparison we can actually make. And I think we all deeply actually understand that. The only reason why we do not want to is because it exposes those areas where we genuinely have fallen short and have not done the things which we know we are more than capable of doing if only we got up off the couch and actually went for it. So stop saying, I'm doing well. Stop saying, oh, at least I did this today. And start asking yourself, am I actually doing everything I can? And the world doesn't reward people who are just doing well. Anyone who wakes up in the morning, has food to eat, has a job they can go to, has clothes they can wear, is arguably doing very well. The world is going to reward people who are doing everything. I have never seen someone who I've worked with, even starting from absolute zero, I have never seen them give everything they can every single day and not see tremendous success. That is unheard of, and it simply does not happen. Sure, it might take some people a bit longer than others, but if you want to win, you can rest assured that is guaranteed if you just do everything in your power to make it happen. And that's it. Do not compare yourself to who you used to be. Do not compare yourself to the people around you who you know are doing worse. Compare yourself to who you could be. That's all we need to do, boys.